Hey everyone, Pet Party here. Today we're going to go over a few cards that I think are undervalued and going to go up in price, specifically, in the now to Christmas range. Full disclosure, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just some douchebag price hyper who is wearing an anime shirt and is a complete moron, doesn't know what hell he's getting himself into. If you buy any of these cards, you are an idiot, and if you lose any money, that's not my fault. So, other full disclosure, a lot of these cards I don't even own. I have no vested interest in trying to price hike these. So any of you saying, oh, well, Peter's trying to hype Jinzo because he's got 50 PSA 10 copies out of the, 56? No. I don't even own damn Jinzo yet. I've been trying. Everyone keeps buying them, which comes to my point that a lot of these cards, when they go up for sale, that I'm going to talk about, they sell pretty well immediately. Generally, a lot of these cards get sold privately, on your private collections, private sellers on Instagram. Instagram is probably the easiest place to buy and sell, I'll say, vintage, graded Yu-Gi-Oh cards in particular, especially when you get into stuff from the classic sets like LOB or Metal Raiders or anything like that. That's generally where most of the collectors are going to be. If you're looking for anything, Instagram's usually your best bet to try outside of eBay. But Instagram usually has the collectors selling their stuff there because they want to get away from the big bad eBay, 9% fees. So what happens with a lot of these cards is because they're sold privately through Instagram, they don't even see the light of day. So when people bitch and complain about, starter deck, Kaiba, Blue Eyes, tens, getting record prices, $6,000-$7,000. They've been set for sale on Instagram. They're only selling around $3,000. Anyone who's paying $6,000 for that's an idiot. That's stupid because for one, none have been publicly available for 4, 5, 6 months at this point. So just because you know that all the good shit is on Instagram doesn't mean that other people know that the good shit is on Instagram. Especially if you've got someone, for the most part, is a bit older on the Yu-Gi-Oh scale in their, early mid-30s. A lot of those people don't use Instagram. They don't give a shit what the hell Instagram is, what you're Snapchatting or TikToking or any of that crap. They might have a Facebook profile and that's the extent of it. So they go look on eBay. If they don't see anything on eBay, they assume there's nothing for sale. So that's where a lot of this comes from. And I think what's going to be a result is you're going to see a lot more of these giant jumps in pricing because these cards generally don't really come up for sale publicly anymore. They just change hands between a few collectors who agree on a price and try to get away from that eBay commission fee or whatever we want to call it, 9%, and they end up biting their own face to save that 9% and end up selling something for, 25, 40, 50%, or even, half of what they could. So, first thing we're going to get into is Simp Magician Girl. I haven't seen a PSA 10 copy up for sale in a very long time. The 9s at this point are going for around $2,000. Whether you like it or not, it's a super popular card, even though it's censored and she doesn't have any cleavage. People don't give a shit because that's the card that was in anime. There's, not really a whole lot of iconic female characters in any of the trading card games. So she's one of the few that is actually, very well established, been around almost 20 years, and has a really big, popular base behind her. The Lost Art promo that came out last month really proved that, where people were paying, $60, $70 US to get a free card. If that doesn't prove how popular she is, I don't know what else will at this point. So, I honestly think she's probably going to hit around $10,000 by Christmas. I know they've been selling on general between $5,000, $6,000 since, I'm going to say January, maybe February, roughly. No one is selling them anymore. And as a result, when one comes up for sale publicly, you're going to get a bidding war on people who don't know what the hell Instagram is. So what ends up happening is because these people get into bidding wars and they say, oh, well, I haven't seen one for sale in like 6 months. I got to buy this now. They freak out and they tend to drive the price up if it's a bidding war, or if it's a buy it now or best offer, they just get stupid and sometimes they'll just hit buy it now. So I think with Dark Magician Girl, with how popular she's been going, the trajectory of the pricing on the 9s, the rock copy Sassy had up for sale, hitting a stupid amount of money, I think that she's really well positioned to hit, the 5-figure mark by Christmas. That's assuming one comes up for sale. I've got 3 first edition copies. None of them are 10s. If you're selling one, I'll buy 5-6 grand easy. Like, if you want an easy sale, message me on Instagram at Pet Party. I'll buy the damn thing right now. The problem is, even though it's a high pop card and a 10, no one wants to sell them because it's a popular card. Like I said, everyone who has one wants it in their collection. So when you get something like that is also from a very short print run set, I think Magician's Force was only out in stores for like a month and a half, 2 months tops before the next set came out. So, it's a super low print quantity set. It's off-centered as shit, so it's harder to grade than most. And because it's so popular, a lot of people played it back in the day, but anyone who has a graded 10 copy now doesn't want to get rid of it. So if you're telling me, oh, I'm an idiot, I don't know what I'm talking about, that card isn't worth that much, and you own a copy, and you won't sell it for even the prices I'm talking about, you are literally proving my point on why some of these cards are going to be worth as much as they are. I got into an argument on one of the group chats last night about Jinzo, which is my next card, that I think is going to be $4,000 by Christmas. They've been selling at $2,000 roughly. I offered someone $2,500. They told me to basically go to hell and, go screw a dog or something. That is going to keep up because Jinzo's a super popular card. It also has the problem, like Dark Magician Girl, it's usually off-centered, so it's hard to grade. And because it's so popular and iconic, that people don't want to sell the damn thing. So it gets buried away in someone's collection and has never seen the light of day again. So as these cards keep getting bought up by more people who have that mindset of a collector and don't want to sell shit, or they have the mindset of a long-term investor, like someone like SM and Pratt or Rudy at Alpha Investments or anyone like that, they don't think about shit in, week to week, or month to month, or even year to year terms. They're thinking, like, what am I going to do with this in 5 years? A few grand isn't a lot of money. I'll sit on that for 5-6 years, see where the price is, maybe I'll sell it then. So as these people buy up these cards, it takes one more off the market. So if you have a low pop, and in the grand scheme of things, with Jinzo's in the 50s, that is a low pop card in a 10. Especially for something as popular and iconic. And Pharaoh Servant was printed to oblivion. So, Pharaoh Servant was one of the higher printed sets, and the pop report's still in the 50s. So it's genuinely hard to grade, it's genuinely popular, and the price hasn't really jumped a whole lot this year. It's gone from, $1,200 in January up to $2,000 was most recently sold last week. It was up for sale. I messaged the guy in 10 minutes. Shout out Omar. And it was already sold 5 minutes before I messaged him. He had literally posted it for 5 minutes and was sold for what he wanted. So you're going to see more of that happen, where in all these private sales going on behind the scenes, they're kind of hamstringing the hobby and making it seem even more scarcer and valuable and hard to get than it actually is. So next cards I'm going to be getting into is LOB Blue Eyes, White Dragon. With Charizard jumping off like it has, especially with the whole Logan Paul fiasco, which is another conversation for another day. I think that Blue Eyes, especially Wavy one, is going to hit probably 50K by Christmas. I was thinking it was going to stay stagnant at, the 20-25 range for 6 to 8 months before it started climbing up. That's not the case anymore. People are publicly offering $25,000, $30,000 for a Wavy 10. No one's selling that anymore. There's a guy who had one on eBay for $30,000 last week. When the PWCC auctions went bonanza, he pulled the card immediately. He had multiple offers in the 20 plus range and then just decided to pull the card. Said, screw that, I'm not selling it right now. And I know multiple people trying to get that card now. I'm not selling mine. There's only like 20 PSA 10 wavies in existence. I know where like 12 of them are. Those collectors are not selling them. So that leaves you with like 7, maybe 8 copies tops to potentially maybe somehow squeeze out of someone's, death clutch grip of a hand hold on it. So wavy LOB Blue Eyes in a 10 isn't really going to sell because no one wants to sell them. So I think if you had one come up on auction now, it would probably hit 35 or 40. And I honestly think as more people get into Pokemon and as more Pokemon people, cash out on these record high prices, they're going to try to go into something comparatively cheaper in Yu-Gi-Oh! And once you get someone like Logan Paul, who's been lurking around Instagram on a few Yu-Gi-Oh! People's, pages that I've heard and seen, all it takes is for him to do what he's doing with Pokemon and buy LOB box. And Blue Eyes is going to go from 25, 30 straight to 50, and it's just going to keep going up from there. Even the glossy ones, I know people offering 15 to 20 at this point. No one's selling. I'm not selling. There's, including the wavies, there's only like 86, 87 at this point. And take the wavies out of that, so you only got 60 something glossies to work with. No one's selling them. One last card I'm going to go over, and I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot because I keep trying to buy more of these. Wavy Red Eyes Black Dragon. No one is selling them. I've been offered privately 8,000 for mine. I'm not selling at 8. No one I know is selling for even 10. I've seen people offer around, the 8, 9 range, and no one is biting. So I think the next Wavy Red Eye sale is going to be $10,000, $12,000 range publicly. And if you have any of these cards, I highly, highly suggest you hold on to them for at least another couple of months till you get into the Black Friday pandemonium, when everyone starts getting, their Christmas bonuses and don't give a shit about spending money like idiots. Especially after this whole Logan Paul fiasco ends this weekend. Probably going to be video for tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. So basically what's going to happen is Logan Paul is going to price hike the shit out of cards he owns, talk about how cool they are when he opens them into the pack. That's going to drive up the pricing on a lot of stuff. Excuse me. And as people get into the Pokemon hobby because of this shit, it's going to draw more attention to Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And other trading card games, and it's going to cause a trickle-down ripple effect where everything else is just going to go kaboom. I've even seen it with old Digimon cards. Like, you can't buy old Digimon boxes anymore. You could buy old original Digimon, like Series 1 Digibattle, for $50, $60 all day long last year. They went up to, like $250 in the last couple of months, and now there's none. Dead silence. You're not getting them. So I really think that's going to be double-edged sword, where anyone who wants to sell anything and make a bit of money, you're going to be, doing very well for yourself. I'll put it that way. Anyone who's trying to buy anything in the next few months, good luck to you. I think you're going to have an extremely hard time trying to get especially some of these super iconic, super hard to find cards in 10s. I think the 9s are going to go up comparatively as well. Something like Blue Eyes, White Dragon, the 9s are already going for $6,000, $7,000 plus at this point. There's not really that giant gap between the 9s and the 10s, or the 9.5s and the 10s with Yu-Gi-Oh! As it is with Pokemon. That's another conversation for another day. So I don't think there's going to be as much potential to make a boatload of money if that's your thing. Nothing wrong with 9s. I have a lot of 9s in a lot of these cards. They're almost as nice, if not nicer, than some of the 10s. So if you want a card, I recommend you buy it now if you can get it. If you can't get a 10, buy a 9. It's going to go up too. And like I said before, I'm an idiot wearing an anime shirt. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so don't listen to anything I just said. And have a good one.